Well, Steve, thank you very much for joining me once again on game day. And another defeat, 10 men, dreadful game, raining cats and dogs. Your thoughts on that dreadful game of football?
I mean, you could pick a couple of positives out of it. You could say that we showed a lot of determination, particularly in defence. To play that long with 10 men is difficult. I think Thomas looks good. It's good to see Downs back. But then when you start looking at the negatives, was that 6 defeats and 7 at home? If you're Paul Lambert, right? If you're Paul Lambert, just start thinking straight. You sign Josh Harrop and he gets COVID within hours of arriving at the club. You got one fit out-and-out striker, that's Caden Jackson. He gets sent off after 10 minutes. This is against Sunderland, of course, who we were robbed up at the Stadium of Light with a different refereeing decision. Look, everyone wants you to leave. Even the fates want you to leave. Just go. Just go. You have to question why we've ended up, people will start hauling over the stats and things. How have we ended up in a situation where I was looking at the size of our squad earlier? It's ridiculous. It's something like 40 players. But we're bringing on, and bless him, it's not his fault, we're bringing on Aaron Drinan, who, let's face it, was an afterthought signing by Mick McCarthy. It's one of his pick and mix signings from Ireland. Has turned out to be decent. Never scored a professional goal for us. And we're bringing him on in a supposed promotion battle against the playoff rival as the big hope. And then after him, we bring on Freddie Sears. One of the problems we've got as a club, and I've banged on about this a lot, got to stop showing sentiment to players that are past it. We should have got rid of Sears 2 years ago. And here he is. He tries. I'm not doubting his work rate, but he's gone. As a striker, he's gone. Judge has gone. Hughes has gone. Chambers should probably go as well. And I haven't changed my position. I've officially been Lambert out for a few weeks, and Lambert out. He's got to go. You look at Sunderland. So we're playing against them for 80 minutes with 10 men. They're no great shakes. I thought we controlled quite a lot of that game in patches. And if, this division is wide open, there's no standout teams. Bristol Rovers got a point at Peterborough tonight. Bristol Rovers having a poor season. So that's a poor result for Peterborough. But we can't take advantage because we're being so terribly coached and managed.
Oh, Darren, thank you very much for joining me. It's good to have you on game day. We just witnessed 1-0 defeat against Sunderland live on Sky. And, oh dear, a game of just nothing. Your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, well, like you say, you took the words out of my mouth, Frost. It was... I was nervous before the game, which I haven't been for a long time because I've just lost all kind of emotion for, watching Ipswich, just hoping that we lost, which is a horrible place to be as a fan. But yeah, the game, the first 10 minutes before the sending off kind of started as I expected. I thought we looked all right. We were pressing, Thomas looked all right. It was all, going okay. They set out to play against us like everyone does. They're just sitting back, let us have it, and then they created a couple of good opportunities wide. Caden again gets sent off. I think, to be fair, obviously when you look at it in slow-mo on Sky, it was terrible. I think, to be fair, what he's trying to do is just get himself across the player, and he's mistimed it and taken his leg off. And then after that, really, Sunderland were poor. They kept trying to drop balls over the defence, which just kept skidding on, and they stopped their plan of playing wide. And I was actually quite pleased with how the boys then set up afterwards. They looked really solid, closing down nice and tight. We just needed, if we could have just got to half time, it could have been a different result. But it's kind of a strange feeling, because if this had been, I think actually Jackson getting sent off and us losing buys more time for Lambert, because there's a bit of an asterisk above the result now. It's, another loss to a top team, and what is it? Is it 6 in 7 at home, something like that? But the fact we were down to 10 men, it was always going to be difficult to get a positive result. So I think that buys Lambert more time. And we go on for Crewe. Crewe, are they just above us now on the table? I think.
Yeah.
We're 10th. With games in hand, the club will tell you, on all the teams above us. But yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's miserable. Life is pretty miserable at the minute. So football really should be something that we're all, gets us going and excited and we look forward to. And, this is just bad.
Well, Thomas, thank you for joining me as ever. The 6th home loss in 7 games for Town. Red card, a dreadful game of football on Sky. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like you say, dreadful. First things first, I want to say it's good to see Thomas get a start of the game. I definitely felt like he deserved that after coming on Saturday. Good that Judge got dropped. He doesn't deserve to be on that right-hand side. Number 10, yes, but it's the right decision there from Lambert, giving him his due. But then, obviously, that challenge happened and we're down to 10 men. It is a red card. No two ways about it. It's a red card, straight red. I don't know what he was thinking. If it was a bit rash and he didn't mean to do it, it's still a red. So awful challenge. Can't moan about that. The thing I can moan about is the fact that you can have 5 subs, as we can have 5 subs. So he's left it to 10 minutes after second half to bring on a striker. Why? Why has he done that? Like, you want to win this game. You've got the local paper calling for your head now. We're playing against a promotion rival. I'd rather see us go for that and lose than do what he did and left us stranded up top there. Centre backs has had plenty of time, and he's let them go 1-0 up before half time because he hasn't brought a strike on and tried to change it in a way for us to just attack. I don't care how, or if we get countered at and we concede because we've gone forward, so what? We're going for it. We're down to 10 men. What we've got to lose? But he hasn't done that, and we've lost the game because we were stranded up top, and obviously the defenders just had time to do what they wanted with it and pass it forward, and that's how we've been caught out. And he's changed it at the 55th minute, or whenever it was he brought Trinan on, and all of a sudden we look so much better with a striker up front, and then we're chasing the game again, which has happened every game so far this season. So many times we've been chasing the game, and it's just too late by then. And Sunderland by then it was obvious they were going to win. We didn't look like we were going to get back into it. Maybe I know Thomas had a decent chance, but yeah, for me, that's what's cost us. I think it's just a stupid decision. I'd just rather see us go for it. I thought Thomas had a good game. He looks really good. I know I mentioned him at the start of the video, but he does look like a good signing. It's just a shame he's coming into a really demoralised side. And also, I thought Dazal had a good game. Passing it about, doing what he does, and just unfortunate for him that the others weren't on the ball, and we had 10 men. But Wolfen looked decent as well. But yeah, it is what it is. And it's another promotion rival that we've lost to, and we're just going down and down the league, and we're going to stay here for another season. In my opinion, the longer he stays, the longer we're stuck in this league. And he's got to go. But on to Saturday, under Crewe, I'm not confident, but we'll see.
So Harvey, thank you for joining me as ever. The weather was as bad as the game. Your thoughts on that defeat, my friend?
Well, yeah, as we were discussing before we went on, you can just replay the last 2, 3, 4 weeks of interviews, to be honest with you. Same old, predictable. Do you know what? I thought we actually played okay in the first half hour or so. I thought we had a decent spell. Jackson sending off changed the game, but I thought we did look solid, but no attacking threat. In terms of the red card, no arguments whatsoever. It was a horrific tackle, an ankle breaker. So absolutely no arguments. I'm not sure why Jackson was, he was complaining to the referee because that's a red card all day. I thought Thomas looked lively, cutting in on the right hand side onto his left foot. I thought he played well, but it's just the same old. We looked deflated as soon as we went 1-0 down. That was a sucker punch, that first half goal, and from there, any Ipswich fan watching this knows that when we go 1-0 down, it's very, very unlikely that we're going to get anything from the game. So that's just where we are. We bring on Dryman to give us a little bit of hope, and that's unfortunately how far we've sunk. I can't see it getting any better. I'm just praying for that corner flag.
Well, John, thank you for joining me as ever. It's that time again where we talk about another defeat, this time against Sunderland. Your thoughts, 10 men for very much a lot of the game, but the Sky Sports curse is beginning again. Another defeat.
Absolutely. Obviously, always a pleasure to speak to you, Ross. Always I wish we could speak after some victories for a change. I expected a defeat. It wasn't in the manner I was truly expecting, though, to be honest. I think that the sending off, which was clearly a red card, changed the game, and it became a bit of a game of chess. We basically packed midfield and packed defence and tried to stifle them. I don't think they took advantage in the first half. I just listened to Lee Johnson's comments after the game, and he said they got to half-time and they kind of had to reassess how they're playing and stretch the game and get wide. Obviously, the timing of their goal was one of those killer blows, really. If we got to half-time, maybe. But ultimately, I think the positives are that the team showed some spirit and some endeavour and some hard work. It wasn't a gutless performance, and we didn't roll over. We weren't whitewashed. But after 10 minutes, to lose a person, that can happen, can't it? But we didn't create. We didn't look like scoring. We don't look like scoring with 11, so we're not going to look like scoring more with 10, are we? Especially for 55 minutes playing with no striker whatsoever. Was it a Tonkin? No. Did we hang in there? Yep. Did we deserve maybe a point? Yep. Did we get anything? No. Does it change things for Mr. Lambert? I tell you what, he didn't look well after the game. He really didn't look well. And, on a human level, like I've said to you before, I wish him well. I wish him well for a recuperation, and maybe he should take some time off football management and go and fully recover in the luxury of his home away from our club. I hope he gets well, but I don't think Marcus Evans is going to act this week. I hoped he would, but it's yet another defeat, isn't it? And we're languishing in 10th. We've got little prospect of having a striker fit now. To be fair, Dryden worked really hard when he came on, and I think he did well. But Caden's suspended, Norwood's not fit, Hawkins is out. That doesn't help us, fill us with confidence either. So we stumble on, and I guess Saturday's an even bigger game now, because we said in my head we needed at least 4 points, and we've got none so far from these 3 games. If anything other than a victory on Saturday, I just think the season's over. So onwards we go. Sad. Let's just hope one day, Ross, we can speak to each other after a game and have something exciting to talk about. I'm trying not to be too miserable. I'm trying to smile, but there's not much to smile about, is there?
Well, George, thank you for joining me. Oh, dearie me, that was a tough watch, wasn't it? A 1-0 defeat against Sunderland. Your thoughts on that defeat?
Oh. God, Ross, I don't know what to say about them anymore. I've been lucky enough in a position, I haven't watched them that much since Shrewsbury. I'm not wasting my money, and I've been watching the ones on Sky, but that was dreadful. I know they were down to 10 men and all this. They play well 10 men, but come on. Like, against the top 10, 28 games, we've lost 16 of them. 4 of them are wins. It's ridiculous. That's across 2 seasons, but I just don't know where it's just going to turn to now. But start of the game, first 10 minutes, I thought we looked all right. That's the best 10 minutes I've seen of Ipswich Town in a long time. It looked like we did all right. And then Jackson, what was he thinking? absolutely horrendous. That's a red card all day, and even he's admitted it on Twitter and apologised, which fair play to him. Players would be silent about that. But, it was a horrendous challenge. And then I thought both sides they cancelled each other out. They didn't look special. Sunderland didn't look special, it didn't look special, but I thought when I saw a few chances from Charlie Wick, I thought if he's going to get one perfect one, he's going to score it. What's he do? The ball comes into the box. No central defender in sight. Dazelle he doesn't even know who's marking. Charlie Wick's on the ball, bang. And you can't let a striker have that time. Somebody scored 7 goals in the last 7 games. You can't let that happen, but it's just depressing a little bit. It feels like Groundhog Day, really, but I just don't know where to go next. And also just with that, just when Jackson got sent off, why did he not bring on the striker? Why do we have to wait until the 54th minute to maybe we'll put on Dryan, see what happens? He did all right. I actually thought he did okay. He got one good chance. Maybe should have done a bit better with that. But if he got more service up there, he could have done more. But it's just all over, really. But 13 points off the top, 13 off the relegation. Lambert still on the job. I just don't know how. And it just feels awful to be an Ipswich fan. And I don't know where this is going to go next, but wherever it does, it's just going to get worse. And with Crewe on Saturday, help us all, please.